Hey everybody, it's SmallgGay. I have Fiddler on the Roof up here. The original production was Zero Mostel. Still one of only a handful of Broadway musicals dealing with the Jewish experience, or even with just Jewish characters. There aren't many, surprisingly, despite the stereotype. I think that, I hate to say this, but I really judge people based on how they feel about Israel. I just think, to me, that's the litmus test. And I think a part of anyone's political maturing process, I think part of that process is learning to honor, appreciate, and defend Israel. This is something that I went through several years ago. After 9/11, as a survivor of 9/11, I really wanted to understand the Middle East, and I found that having researched the Taliban and the whole situation, I found that my understanding of Israel was very limited. Like a lot of people in liberal Eastern cities, I had been trained to basically feel that the Palestinians were these poor put-upon people and that Israel was this evil nation. And so I took it upon myself to educate myself. And I watched a wonderful documentary. It's like some 12-hour-long documentary. I rented it from Netflix, and I did a lot of reading online. And a lot of the things that I learned about Israel were really eye-opening to me. Like a lot of people, I felt that prior to my educating myself with Israel, that Israel was an artificial country created by the UN, when every country in the former Ottoman Empire was also artificially created. And the Jews had lived in Israel since time began, and that area had been designated prior to World War II as a Jewish homeland. I didn't know that. And I also didn't understand the full connection between America and Israel. I didn't know that America didn't really start a special relationship with Israel until the 1970s under Nixon. I didn't know that the freed Jews from the concentration camps were then sent to relocation camps. I didn't realize what a fight it was for Israel to become a nation, how they had to fight from day one, how the Arabs sided with the Nazis and continued to identify with fascists to this day, basically. A lot of things I learned. I also learned that any leftist who talks about conspiracies, I would say any leftist period, is inherently anti-Semitic. Because leftists believe that it's the bankers, it's the business people who are destroying the world. And they're like vampires in their mind, and they're just these evil villains that are just destroying the world. And those are anti-Semitic stereotypes. Okay? Anyone who believes in conspiracy theory is anti-Semitic, because conspiracy theory all stems from Protocols for the Elders of Zion, which is, the archetypal work of anti-Semitism. It all goes back to it's the Jews controlling everything. It's the Jews running everything. Something that I've always said as a gay man is that I would really appreciate it if the gay community would stop comparing itself with the black community and start looking more towards the Jewish community for role models. Because I think that the gay community is also, like the Jews, often considered to be an evil, secret force running fashion, running the arts, a scapegoat, if you will. And it's no surprise to me that Hitler hated the gays, not as much, of course, but he was not keen on gays either. there is, in leftism, there is a virulent homophobia as well as a virulent anti-Semitism. You know, communist countries consider homosexuality an aberration of capitalism. You know, that this is decadence of capitalist countries. And again, in the secret conspiracy, as I mentioned. I think that it's so easy to hate Israel. And it's almost expected. You're almost expected to hate Israel. And I find it appalling. And I am so pro-Israel. I would almost say I love Israel almost as much as I love America. That's how strongly I feel about Israel. You know, words cannot say how much I and every thinking person on planet owes the Jewish people. Okay? You want Western civilization. You cannot have it without the Jewish intellectual tradition. As a gay man, I would be nowhere without the Jewish intellectual and the Jewish liberal tradition. You know, I am overwhelmed. I am grateful. And I will defend Israel and the Jewish people with my life until I die. That's how strongly I feel about this. And I have a lot of Jewish friends and supporters both here and on Twitter. And I am so proud. I am so proud that that you folks listen to me and support me, because it means everything to me. So there you go. And I feel that any kind of denial of the right of Israel to exist signals a descent into fascism, as far as I'm concerned. Okay? Fiddler on the Roof. My partner in Germany, who lives in Germany, is a Jewish man who feels strongly as well as I do, and prides himself on having learned Yiddish. He performs Yiddish music to the small community of Jews in Germany living there still. And he talks about how the Jews in Germany, even now, are outcast and isolated. You know, there are no Jews in Europe anymore. And I think that there are a lot of people on the left who would like there to be no more Jews on the planet. I mean, I'm sorry to be so blunt, but I really feel that way. So, you know, I can't speak strong enough. And thanks. I really am at a loss for words. SmallgGay signing out.